Right then, guys, let's do a live. See how many people come on. I know Nick and Andrew are on live at the moment talking about the same thing, but thought it'd be interesting for me to do a live about this, so people who don't really like commenting maybe want to voice their opinion on here. Different sort of angle as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a debate about the fees and all that, what's coming out, the buyer protection stuff. People agree with it. What are people actually going to be thinking about it? Yeah, so going to be talking about the seller fees, the buyer protection that's obviously coming out in February, and your opinion if you're a seller privately or business, because there's a split opinion. My view from the video what I did earlier. If you want to go and watch it and you watch it, go and watch it. But there is going to be buyer protection fees, obviously, for private sellers, which means obviously the people who are buying from them are going to be charged more than us. So if we're selling at the same price, it's actually cheaper to get it from a reseller who's got a business account. So I'm just going to be like going through the comments, and you can have debates. This year I'm also going to be going on StreamYard. I'm going to set it up on my laptop, so I will highlight people's comments. But if there's any good comments, I will shout them out. Hello, Jack. Yeah, New Year was okay. New to the channel. Really enjoy the video. You're right, Owen. How come eBay doesn't back sellers but back for buyers? Because buyers is the thing that makes you money. A seller is a seller. In the end of the day, if it wasn't for both of us, they wouldn't make no money. But obviously, how they make money is from people buying stuff. You can have as much people selling as much stuff as you want, but if the people don't buy it, then there's no point, is there? You're right, George. I'm not getting a missus. Yeah, this is going to be more about reselling, so I'm not going to be talking about personal stuff and private stuff, is it? It's all about the protection fees that are coming next month. What you all think about it, guys. So if you are watching, what do you think about it? Are you a private seller? Are you a business seller? Are you happy? Are you happy with the update? There is more to be coming for business sellers. So if you are a business seller, there is more coming, but obviously it's we'll have to find out what it is. I think it's only fair people that are selling private full time should rightly have a fee. Yeah, I actually agree. My opinion is, I think if you're running as a business, so eBay say you got to be a business. If you're making so much money and all that, like they want you to be a business, and they will tell you to be a business. But we know people that are still running as private accounts, so obviously they're not cracking down on it. Maybe they're going to do it when it comes up to the tax year, end of the tax year, so they can have like a yearly statement and go, wow, you're making that much, you've got to be a business seller. Don't know, we'll find out. But I just think it's unfair. I don't mind private sellers as long as a private seller to me is somebody who's doing it part-time, somebody who is selling bits to make a bit of money throughout the month, not making a minimum wage out of it. Basically, if you're making more than a minimum wage and you're making, it's like a full-time job, you should become a business. I mean, yes, it doesn't really make much difference because it's all down to eBay. eBay should be cracking down on them. But what I don't like is business sellers who are actually gone onto eBay and are doing all that, like myself and a lot of other people. They're getting more punished than these other people who are exactly the same as us, and they're like obviously getting more benefits. Like I said, I would have made a lot more money if I'd have stayed private. This year, I would have made more, an extra five to 7 grand, I think, this year if I'd have been private. Because I wouldn't have all them fees coming out. So it's one of them. Yeah, I'm a private seller, but the game is the game. Just yeah, but the thing is, Rasta, the game's a game. It's not a game, is it? It's supposed to be a professional business. eBay is a professional company. Imagine them not paying something. It's like having a full-time job, but claiming dole money, if you get me, or claiming a lot of benefits because you are like, you're not telling, the people. So basically, the people who crack down, the people who don't work, get a house rent free, but then they're getting doing a job cash in hand somewhere. So they're getting like basically a lot of money where they wouldn't be if they was actually a legit person. That's what I'm talking about. I've started to see eBay holding back fees until the item has got the buyer. Looks like a long wait. Funds again. Yes, that's what it used to be like when I didn't do eBay and I used to sell a couple of things years ago. You used to have to wait a long time to get your money. And if you're just selling bits and bobs, I don't think it really matters, because obviously you got your full-time job. So for somebody like, we all know Master of Pieces, he's got a business account, but this is reselling is his part-time like hobby, really. So if he was private and then he had to wait for his money, I don't think obviously it would matter, but I don't think it would matter to him as much, because obviously he's got his proper wage anyway. So I do feel like that is a good idea to push people over to business accounts, because if you're a reseller like we all are, we basically put the money we sell in back in. We get our own wage, we spend what we want to, and then obviously we put what in, depending on how much money you make. But I feel like, yeah, they need to, it's nobody's fault. I just feel like eBay need to, they're scared of Vinted, and they need to realize that Vinted is different from eBay. eBay's always going to be bigger than Vinted. It will always be bigger because Vinted is in a certain country and that's it. It's not globally like obviously like eBay, and we can sell anything on eBay. The only thing is, because they're losing a lot of money, a lot of buyers, which are obviously going to Vinted, that's what they're trying to do. But they're annoying the sellers. And this is the thing about eBay. Since I've started, the only thing I hate about eBay is the fees are absolutely stupid. They're shocking, And like I said, the postage is the most annoying thing. You should never ever be. I shouldn't get fees taken off me for postage. What I'm paying out now, my own money, and that's the thing. We always seem to pay out our own money for our own postage. That should not be anything in the like contract of eBay. eBay shouldn't do that. I think that should be a law that, like with Vinted, you don't have to worry about postage, because it's obviously the buyer's paying it, and obviously eBay sort it out. So why can't Vinted? Why can't eBay do exactly the same as Vinted in that? Then I don't care about all the fees and all that, because obviously I'm making enough money anyway. What else have we got here? Full-time resellers resell for a living. That's their business. I think it's unfair that they have to act as private sellers so they don't get fees. I think it's just, yeah, it is greedy. It's not honest, is it? I've gave eBay nearly 20k in fees. Wow, fair play. It's about time they looked after. Yeah, I've got a plan, but it's trying to get it into. Obviously they'll never listen to me. You all right, Ricky? Everyone pays the same fee, private or business, or buyers, and pay purchase. Stop all this pissing around with all these mismatch jargon. who's in and out, pays what. Yeah, the thing is, all I want is just to be fair for everybody. I just want it to be fair, because in the end of the day, what is the point of having a business if you got like other people who are doing the same thing here and they're making a lot more money? And that's the one thing that's an annoying thing. I don't mind fees because they're a business. They need to make money themselves. I don't understand that, right? Vinted are making money. Obviously, they're doing very well. And no one's complaining about the buyer protection on Vinted, are they? No one's moaning about that. All eBay have done is exactly the same. So there's no reason why anybody who's private selling should be moaning, because if they're selling on Vinted, it's exactly the same. It's basically exactly the same. I just feel like they need to sort out the postage. That is it. Postage winds me up, especially when you get the total and you're like, oh, this is how much it is. So I prefer to sell something for like, I don't know, 10 quid, and it's got 3 quid postage. After the fees come out, I'm paying actually for my own postage most of the time. So it's, I don't know, it drives me mad. It drives me mad, that does. I just feel like that needs to be sorted out more than anything. Yeah, you haven't broke me, Rick. How are you anyway? Did you have a good Christmas? Happy New Year. Thanks, Ricky. I'm doing it on my phone, by the way. Yeah, next year I'm going to go on that, what is it? StreamYard or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's just been a bit of a quiet one, really, just quiet one. But I've done nothing for Christmas. I stuck a sale on last week just to bump up sales, because, yeah. You're right, Pixie. How are you? How much do I make from lives? Not much really. Lives you don't make much off. Lives are really, I mean, I could do a 2-hour live and a video and I would not make as much, but it all depends on donations. Like the last live I did when I went out, somebody from America gave me like $50, and I think Aaron gave me some as well. And yeah, I think I made 75 quid off a live, and that's just donations. I know obviously the more people come in, so when you see these big massive YouTubers, they're getting like 10 20k people watching at a time, and that makes obviously more money. But yeah, it's not as much as a normal video. eBay also had 24. I thought there was always 24-hour customer service. I actually thought there was always. I don't know who rings them up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Like I said, with me and customer service, I find it hard to find them to speak to. So I usually just go on the topic I want to find, speak to the robot, and then basically I'll say I want to speak to a human, or I want to speak to somebody, and then obviously I've ringed them that way. Yeah. Customer service is useless anyway. It's like if you saw one of my old videos about the blender, she gave me a bad feedback, didn't she? Guess what? No request for refunds or sending it back at all, but she gave me a bad feedback. I asked eBay to remove it, saying they don't want a refund, or they're not trying to get file a case. And they sent back, if this is me not speaking to them, they just gave me an email saying the best thing to do is sort this out and discuss them for a refund or a return. After this, then blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh my god, it's nothing to do with that. But you know what I mean. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I always feel like people always go on about the fees, and fees are like obviously do take a lot out of our like money. But we all buy it. We should be buying these things for cheap anyway. We're still going to be making lots of money out of it anyway. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible when I hate it when you buy something which is quite cheap and you sell it for a lot of money, and you're going to make a lot of money out of it, like over 100 quid, and then the fees do take a massive, chunk out your profit. But in the end of the day, we're getting it cheap. Yeah, I just feel like I said, postage is my only problem with eBay. I don't really care about anything else. Obviously, I do care about. I think you should be, if you're earning over a certain amount on eBay, and I think this is going to they're going to take this in. I think it's going to be the tax year. I think it's going to be when the tax year comes up. I think they're going to have a year of full sales and go, right then, so and so, you're earning this much, and they've got like a sort of like a list of people who they might be checking out. I ain't got a clue. I don't work for them, so they need to do something, don't they? It does feel like there's a divide if you're that bothered, but there isn't, because in the end of the day, I might be selling something now that no one else has got in reselling. Obviously, they are on the market, but they might just be normal people. So it doesn't make any difference to me. Wasn't a troll because they had like 700 plus feedback. So they didn't have anything what they're selling, but they was a buyer. So I feel like there was maybe somebody who maybe buys and sells somewhere else. Maybe, we don't know. But definitely dodgy. Honestly dodgy. Who breaks something? And I understand trying to get a fast one and do that way, but at least if you're going to like break it, where's the pieces? Because even if she did break it, where are the pieces from it? Yeah. She obviously didn't break my one. That was one of her old ones, and she's broke it, and that's what she wanted to do. So that's why there was no pieces, because why would you put water in it as well? Why would you put water in it? I don't get it. It's just tax deductible, yeah. Yeah, I got my tax fee a couple of weeks ago. Got to pay like 400 and something quid for this is not this year. This is from, obviously this is the year before, because obviously it's a year ago. The year before, 2023 is it? Yeah, my first year. Obviously next year is going to be a lot more, because I've got YouTube to put in it. Yeah, more Vinted. Yeah, a lot more sales as well. So next year's tax will be a lot more. Obviously I've got a couple of more months until I think it's April, isn't it? I don't really, doesn't really, I hate talking about that stuff. Without it really, there would be no profit. I'm happy to pay the fees for customers they bring. Without them, I would. Yeah, that's the thing. In the end of the day, we can moan all they like, but if they said, "All right, then if you don't like it, we'll take you, we'll ban you," you wouldn't say nothing, would you? Because you're making money anyway. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Like I said, I think simple sort of things, and I think the thing is, eBay have been always the number one. There still will be. I don't think Vinted will ever compare to them. I'm not being funny, but I don't think Vinted have got the capacity to even compete with eBay globally. They're just doing it very cleverly, the way they're doing it. I always say that Vinted's like a car boot, online car boot. I've always said it. You can sell expensive stuff on there, but like I said, there's a lot of faffing about on Vinted, people liking stuff, people giving you stupid offers, and You don't get that on eBay unless you have obviously open offers. That's good, mate. That means you've done well. Don't know what am I hoping to turn over next year. You can't know. Hopefully more. Hopefully my YouTube money will be more. People always go on about subscribers and all that. Subscribers don't mean absolutely nothing unless you got the views. But what the update was really interesting is obviously people waiting for their money on being private. I think this could switch a lot of people over. But then again, you have to wait for it on the Vinted, don't you? Until the people have got the actual item, and then it gives you 2 days. So if you can get that parcel to that person very quickly, it shouldn't make any difference. Me personally, if I was private, I'll be sending everything first class. I would first class. Or if it's quite close, if you've never noticed, parcels do get there quicker if they are nearer to you. So I've had parcels sent through on the same day. One's taken 5-6 days, the other one's taken 1 day. Literally, I've sold something which I'll be doing my sales tomorrow for over last week, and one of them got there the next day, and then another one got there about 3 or 4 days. It's weird. So if you want the money quicker, you know what to do. People going on about tracking and all this as well. If you send with it comes included. Yodel comes included. It's only Royal Mail you have to obviously put the tracking on and cost you more. I understand for people selling small stuff, yeah, but why aren't you using Vinted as well? You know what I mean? You should be using Vinted as well. So Vinted don't have. Yeah, I mean, Vinted, you can't even talk to any, unless you're talking about the item, you can't go and talk to anybody. Vinted is pretty rubbish like that. I have found something else about Vinted Pro, and this is a reason why I might not even be joining it. Apparently, if you look in the T's and C's, which I didn't see that, so they must have put it on there, I missed it. If you are a Vinted seller and you're on Pro, you would expect to be like pushed up. No. Private sellers on Vinted are pushed up more than Vinted Pro sellers. It's in the T's and C's. I saw it on this bloke's TikTok who is a seller, and he's got the actual evidence. So if you're a pro seller, your things do not get pushed up higher than a private. The private ones actually get pushed up before yours because they something about it's a selling platform for people, just normal people or something, and that's what they want it to achieve. So what is the point of being a pro seller? What, just because you sell a lot of things on there? And I don't think so. It's a load of rubbish, because I guarantee most people on Vinted selling on there regularly. They're selling on there all the time, and if they try to ban everybody, they would basically be having no people selling anything. They're a bit strange. It's like I just don't get the point in that pro thing. Really, I don't. I just don't see the point in it. It's a bit like eBay. They don't know what they're doing in that section. And why would you? I just can't wait 14 days. 14 days is a long time. That's just to cover their return policy, because obviously you've got a 14-day return policy on it. So unlike the normal one, where literally 2 days after you get the money received, and then that's it. Somebody come work at one of the Wii's, and I said, have you put it in the controllers and that and everything? He says, oh, I'll work it out. Basically, oh, I've had it over Christmas, I'm bored of it now, I want to return. Well, tough, you can't, because you've had it over what, two weeks now, so you can do one. Did your little boy get his £1? He's had loads of money. He's had his one. He's had loads of money. He's had a Meta Quest 3 for his Christmas present. You know, he won't be getting anything for a long time. Hi, John. Personally, think eBay should just change business sellers for shop, then keep everything the same across the board. I've got this thing that the shop, I've been thinking about closing it for ages because I don't think it does anything for me. I haven't even made it all fancy and that. I just don't think. When you go on eBay, do you really, I know I've got like 600 and something followers on there, but do you really go onto eBay and click onto a shop as a normal person? Because most people buy on eBay are buying stuff because they want something. They might be a collector or something like that. And I just think shops are not worth it, really. I feel like what my thing, if I could give something to eBay, would be, everybody's obviously moaning about all this stuff. You got 3 sections, haven't you, in the shop category. I'm on basic, then you got middle one, and you got the really expensive one. I feel like if you're at the basic, you should get so much. You know, obviously we get so many free listings, which is rubbish, which private sellers get more. And we can sell stuff and we can do coupons and all that stuff. But I feel like maybe have the 3 sections like in the shop, but the higher you go up, the more discount off fees. Maybe the fees go down lower, maybe, because you're obviously, they're gaining a lot of money a month from a, like a subscription. So when you usually have a subscription, everything's a lot cheaper, if you get me. Like if you're subscribed to a certain company, you usually get benefits. So like I'm now subscribed up to Lego because I'm gonna start collecting Lego. I've already got one piece. I'm thinking about buying another one. And with Lego, you get points. So with the points, eventually, when you've bought so many things, you can buy whatever you want from Lego. You can buy a really expensive one if you save up, and so on and so on. I feel like they need to do like some sort of scheme where maybe the fees are lower, maybe for certain items, or it's free shipping up to a 20-30 quid items, maybe, if you have a shop or something. I don't know. Not free shipping, you know what I mean? Free fees or something like that. I haven't got a clue. But I wouldn't want to be eBay. You got to think, do you think the big bosses at eBay are like really caring about anybody on who sells or buys? They don't really care. They're making so much money. So, yeah, it's one of them, innit? In the end of the day, we're picking stuff up for like a couple of quid here. If we're picking up stuff for like 1 or 2 quid and we're selling for like 30 quid, which is really good anyway. Doesn't matter what fees come off, as long as you're you're making some money. It's like me moan about fees, about private sellers and all that stuff, but I promote my thing, every item at 3%. So if I wanted to make more money, I'll just take off promotion. Do people promote their stuff? I do. I feel like it does work, and it doesn't mean that every item sells on promotion, because it tells you. Vinted is very ban happy. They will ban you. I haven't been banned, never been banned. When Vinted ban your items because it doesn't. Yeah, it's weird. Certain things on Vinted, it's like, I tried to sell, I think it was some sort of like kitchen utensil, and I saw other ones on there, but it was something where it was a blender, but you can sell baby blenders. Some people have sold baby blenders on there, or it's something to do with, like, because it was Tommy Tipping that did a blender or something. So that's a blender. But so I put it in the baby section, and then it still got took off. I was like, ugh. I just don't know why they don't put stuff in which is all right like that. They do home and they do glasses. I mean, what is the difference from one electrical to another? If you can sell gaming stuff, why can't you sell a blender? There's no difference, really, is there? Yes, you have food in one, but obviously, you clean it, don't you? And if it is grubby and dirty, you just don't buy it. What is the difference? They have the weight capacity as well, because we also, if you sell something big, it's like the 5 kg, 10 kg, and the 20 kg. So there's no issue with that. So I wish if they do that this year, then eBay will be in big trouble, because you'll have a lot of people who sell a lot of electrical going over to, well, they won't be going over there. People will say, oh, I'm going over to Vinted, I'm not going to sell on eBay. You sell on both. If it sells on one and not on the other, great. It doesn't make it just two platforms, different people, It's like quite annoying. What annoys me is I've got a sale on everything at the moment, and I sold something and I literally lost money on it, but I didn't lose money on it because I obviously separated it. It was all these Formula One cars, and I actually lost money on this one because it's in the sale, because I got 30%. So if anybody wants anything, it ends tonight at 12 o'clock, 30% off, I think, everything in my shop. But yeah, I lost money on this, and I was thinking, great, I've lost money. But obviously when I separated them down, divide them by the price before them, I think it cost me 200 quid for loads of boxed, like Formula One cars, like Michael Schumacher ones, and I bought it in the auction in one of my videos, and I worked it out that I'm actually up major in money. So even if I lost a few quid off this one, I've made like, I think it was like 360 quid. Take off the 200 quid, take off the fees, probably made about 100 quid altogether. So yeah, not that good. That's the sort of thing I'm not doing next year. I'm not going to be buying stuff from the auction just to make so much money, if you get me. Oh, the heater is hot. Yeah. This year is going to be a bit of a weird one. I feel it's going to be Vinted, eBay, Vinted, eBay, and it's just going to be on and on. Yeah, obviously eBay are doing stuff to try and compete with Vinted, just to try and get people back, but I don't think Vinted can do much more than just expand their categories. That's all I feel like they can do. The business thing on eBay, I feel like it needs sorting out. I think they just need a revamp. Somebody commented in my video, well, I did a couple of days ago, saying they should have scrapped it all, sat down and done it all as one big massive update, and left it like that, not doing bits and bobs. It's like, what is the point of doing free selling fees for everybody, and then finishing it for business sellers? I don't know. But yeah, that's basically all I've got really to say. I mean, is anybody else got any questions about it or anything else in reselling? Is anybody going to pro on Vinted? Is anybody quitting eBay, or is anybody thinking about becoming a business seller and thinking, I might as well become a business seller on eBay? Because it's interesting to see what other resellers actually are doing. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm staying the same, but it'd be quite interesting to see. I don't know many people who are private resellers, to be fair. I know people who comment on my videos, and that a lot of them are private, but I don't think they're like full-time resellers. So to me, that doesn't really bother me. It's just like I said, there's probably a handful of, well, not even a handful of people I know, and that, like I said, you only know about a seller if they are like a YouTuber, don't they? Or publish it a lot on like a TikTok or a social platform. So you don't really know who is private and who isn't, unless you're actually a buyer. I don't buy on eBay, so it doesn't affect me for buying wise. But yeah, And in the end of the day, the buyer protection thing, it's just a couple of quid in it. If you're selling low item things, it's going to be what? So if maybe if it's 10 quid, what? It's going to be an extra 50p quid. I don't know how much they're charging, but please, can you do a video how to start YouTube channel? How you do your thumbnails editing? Pixie, I would do a video like that, but it's not really anything to do with my channel, so it wouldn't really be beneficial for me. It would just, it wouldn't, no one would watch it, because there's people that do this for a living, you know, provide advice like that. I did tell you that before. All I can say to you is, look, I'm just doing this on my phone, right? Wait, Cheryl, I'm going to give some advice to Cheryl, Pound Girl, because she's starting to do a YouTube channel. She's already on it, but it's all about the editing. People think that editing a video is really hard, right? In reselling, it's easy. There's nothing to do, right? If you want to be a sit-down reseller, which a lot of people do, then it's easy. You just get in your phone, put it on record, yeah? Obviously do it landscape, so it's that way, not portrait. This is portrait at the moment. So landscape that way. Do the video. Doesn't matter if you mess up and stutter and stuff like that, because that's what the editing is. Then you just download an editing tool. CapCut is what a lot of people use. I use Film 4, I think it is. And then you just download the video over to it and edit it. It's very simple. I mean, it tells you how to even edit it. So I've got the burps. Drinking fizzy pop makes me burp. And yeah, it's easy. So if you have you'll have a reel. It's called a reel, and it goes along the bottom. So you'll have the picture, start of the video, and then you'll say, if it goes like 10 seconds, and then you say you mess up or something. What you do then is you have this thing called a cutting tool. So you cut it. So then you have that 10 seconds, and then carry on playing it until you're back to normal, you know, and you onto the next scene, and cut it again, and then it highlights that bit, and then you just press delete. So then it'll be first 10 seconds and then on to the next bit, which is fine. You know, some people are very good. They can talk, you know, like all the time without messing up, you know, stuff like that. If it comes to car boots, get a chest cam. You need a chest cam. There's no point going around with your phone. It'll drive you mad. You'll have one hand, and yeah, you won't. It just doesn't look good. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Obviously, if you want to make it more professional around, you have a mic and everything. When I'm in my house and I do videos in my house, sometimes I do mic up, and other times I don't, because I have to do it on my GoPro, because I can't link it with this phone for some reason. But yeah, if you want to look professional, then you can buy there's multiple things. Obviously, if you watch Ricky's channel, he spent a lot of money on all his stuff. I've got a GoPro. I think it's a Hero 10 or 11, one of the two. They're about 400 quid, 300 to 400 quid. Then I got a Rode mic, which is about 100 quid. I spent about, that was second hand though, so I spent about 500 quid on my tech. But you don't have to do that, because most phones are good enough. You know, if you're going like this and just do want to sit down, do that. And then with YouTube, you sign up to, obviously you're on YouTube because you're commenting, and then you upload the edited video with a thumbnail. Loads of places you can do a thumbnail. Some people are better than others, you know, to do all the cutting out. So cutting out my silhouette and all that lot. My phone, if you've got a good enough phone, if you took a picture of yourself now, and I like this, I press the image of me, and it'll cut it out, and that's because of my phone. Right, so I've got Samsung S21, is it? I don't know which one it is. You know, one of the latest ones, and obviously the latest ones can do all that. That's just and then what you do is it'll be on your gallery. Select a background. So if you're a car boot, you don't really need to do much. With car boots, it's like when you've got a big item you've picked up, so maybe when on your video part, you just screenshot the video, and then that's your thumbnail, and then just put, I don't know, this only cost me a tenner or something, and have an arrow which points to that thing, and sort of like you can blur it out if you want to, so people are like, oh, what's that? You can just keep it like that. There's loads of ways you can do it. I learned everything myself and through just going on YouTube at the start. I've been doing this for years. Obviously through my fitness and everything. So yeah. Also, if you're doing stuff, get some lighting. So my lighting's actually facing the wrong way at the moment, but because I can't be bothered to move it. But good lighting, good background. You know, sit where you take your pictures and have the background in the back. There's loads of ways. There's loads. It's not hard. It's not hard. It seems a lot, but it's not, if you get me. I've been debating whether to list low items 5 to 35 on Vinted for a month. What doesn't sell? Just I don't get. Yeah, I understand that, but I just don't get when people, right? I understand items maybe 15 quid and under, because obviously after fees and that, the price doesn't go. Definitely 10, but anything that's going to get you, if you've paid something like, I don't know, if you've paid £1 for something, you can get 15 quid out with it. Put it on eBay and Vinted. And if it sells on one, it sells on another. On Vinted, it might sell quicker than eBay, but on eBay, it might sell quicker. You don't know. You just don't know. People go on eBay because it's well known. There's still a lot of people that don't really think that they can buy certain things on Vinted. You know what I mean? Vinted do not advertise their company that good on the adverts. To be fair, when you look at their 2 new adverts, it's all clothing, pushing out clothing. Oh, we're going to sell clothing. Where the eBay's one, it's everything. It's like, you can sell that, you can sell that, you can sell the dog, basically, you know, everything. And that shows that you can buy anything on eBay. With Vinted, if I didn't know anything about reselling, I wouldn't know that Vinted was for games. I wouldn't know you could buy a game off there unless I went on it. So just stick it on both. You know what I mean? You got 2 platforms then to sell things on, and if it sells on one, then fair enough. If it sells on the other, one thing I always say is, say if there's something worth like 35 quid and that's the selling rate on eBay, put it on Vinted for 30 quid. So if they're looking around, shopping around, they might see your item on Vinted for 30 quid. Of course, you'll still make more money that way, because obviously take off the fees, you're going to probably make less than 30 quid. So you can do that way. And it annoys me when something on eBay sells and it's on Vinted for cheaper, and I'm thinking, what? You could have just gone on Vinted and got it cheaper, and I would have made more money. But it just shows that some people just don't go on eBay or go on Vinted. So yeah, not try Vinted to sell, but I feel it's coming. Oh dog, you just try it. You might as well. Simple. It's very simple. It's a lot easier than eBay to put listing, but it's also very beginner. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't put no effort in my Vinted things. Saying that, all I do is I always upload it on eBay first. So I put it on eBay, and then I just copy what I've put. I use AI. I don't see the point of describing, wasting my time on an item when people know what it is anyway. Unless, you know, obviously it's clothing or size and dimensions, I'll put that in. But when it's like I don't know, a toy, the description of the toy is in the description, you know, the title. So what's the point of putting, oh, this and this? Yes, if it's got some damage to it, I will put that in it, and I'll put please look at pictures for the condition or something like that if the condition's not very good. But obviously people are gonna, most people, some people actually don't, because I got a message last week. I think it's some electrical thing saying, does it come with, oh, it's a camera. Does it come with a charger? You can clearly see in all the pictures, if you're actually buying something, you look at all the pictures, you can clearly see it's the camera. That's it. And the battery. There was no charger. If I was selling it with the charger, it would be more expensive. And I felt like just putting, have you actually looked at it? But I just put no. That's it. Simple, straight answer. Stephen, what amount of items would you suggest for someone starting out in reselling? Would you do 2-3 cheap items be enough? Just put, if you've got a variation of all different items, and if you're a reseller, you probably will agree with me. I don't know. I might be the only one, but I feel like a lot. Say we go to a car boot or charity shop haul, and I've got a load of things. We've got like 10 things. I'll be eager to put that big expensive item on, the ones that can get you a lot of money, because I'm going to get more money and I want to put them on. I want to pay attention to that one. But the thing is, like, worth about 15 quid, I'm like, and that's the stuff that always goes in this death piles, the stuff. Saying that, my death piles have got expensive stuff in. I would try and put about 5 on a day. If you can have 5 things, try and put 5 things on a day. If you haven't got a lot of stock, then put about 2 or 3, and put a mixture, because I've noticed sometimes on my eBay, when I've put on, say I'm going through a clothing spree or a shoe spree or footwear spree, if I put loads of footwear on, it seems to not get much attention for the rest of it, because they want to push that new stock. So I've just put a mixture. I'd put just a mixture of everything. Doesn't matter about the prices. Obviously, if it's expensive, you want to put that on. But yeah, I'd say mixture. So if you've got a teddy or toy, put that toy on, a bit of clothing on, and then maybe, I know, a bit of electrical, bit of everything. Bit of a different price range as well, maybe. Or you can just put on electrical one day, toys another day, or something like that. It all depends on you. People say there's an algorithm. There is an algorithm, but I just feel like your stuff will sell if somebody wants it. It doesn't matter what you put on. If somebody wants it, they'll buy it. Some people sell stuff and it literally is on there for seconds, and all times it takes ages to sell. I just feel like it sells when it sells. It's luck as well, I always seem to try and underprice items as well. So if the average sale is like 30 quid, say, I always will have a look on the actual listings to see how much people are selling that thing, because it can go down. People might not be selling it, and yeah, I'll try and underlist the people on there. If, say, everything, usually when you see something, people will be putting it around the same price. Now with all this, obviously, eBay fees and all that, like, private sellers can undercut a business seller because they don't get no fees. So then they're not gonna, they can undercharge people, like, and knock a £5 off a 30 quid item, because they don't mind, because they'll sell it quicker. It all depends how greedy you are as well. Some people are very greedy and they do not want to sell things cheap. I'm a bit like that in some ways, but then I always say, sell it for what it's worth and what it's selling for. And then if you're desperate for money, or you just want to get rid of it, after about a month, just lower it. Yeah. And it'll come to a stage where that item is too good not to buy for somebody. One of my things I sold, like last week, I will mention in tomorrow's video, is the Star Wars AT-AT, and I sold it for a lot cheaper than I really wanted it to go for, but I still made massive profit on it. And that's what you got to think about. Think about, in the end of the day, how much did you buy it for? Are you really bothered about an extra £5? Because in the end of the day, that extra £5 could be stopping somebody from buying it. If you lowered it a £5, then it could sell straight away. You don't know. It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah. Some things, very niche things, keep them on. Keep them on. Don't worry about them, because if it's a very niche thing, maybe there's only one on eBay, you know, like paintings or something like that, uh, or I don't know, like I've had a toy which was very, very, very rare, and there was none. You know, when one's items you have to go into the archive, and you don't see any of them for sold. Like I've got the VHS player over there, doesn't work, unfortunately. None sold in the last 3 years, so I haven't got a clue. But it's so nice. Ones which were made around that area sold for about 60, 70 quid, and this one's nice. But promote 5. I wouldn't promote it 5%. That's too much. 2-3% max. Yeah, promotion. All you're doing is giving them more money, and there's no guarantee you're getting it more. They don't even on that. I might actually go to the eBay thing this year, and if you can give questions saying about the promotion, because I think somebody said it last time about promotions. There's no guarantee that just because you're giving eBay 2% more than me, 5%. That means your thing compared to my thing should be above. But why would anybody buy your thing above mine if my pictures are better? All you're doing is promoting the ones underneath, which might be better as well, if you get me. If yours might be at the top, but you're giving eBay more money. If it's a very good item, you don't even need to promote. Certain things sell very quickly. Like I said, like blue, what do you call them? I forgot what they're called now. Like Amazon Fire Stick, you know, that's this Fire Sticks and all that lot. They sell very, very quickly. You don't even need to promote them. Certain things just don't need promoting, but I promote them anyway, because it's just one of them. You know, I feel like it works, and like I said, if I sell it, I'll sell it, because I'm making money anyway. In the end of the day, the more you list, the more you sell, I suppose. The more you list, the more you sell. The more you buy, the more you sell. It should work like that, really. But like I said, I haven't listed for. I actually don't know when I last listed. It was around Christmas time. I don't think I listed for 2 weeks. I really do feel like I haven't listed for 2 weeks, and I'm still getting sales. Not as much as I would be getting, but saying that, my eBay's been over Christmas been rubbish, and you've seen it on, if you watch other people's channels, it's been terrible on most people's. Unless you're selling it, you know, like really cheap, then yeah. But a lot of sales don't mean a lot of money. That's the thing. People think that sales mean lots of money, and it doesn't. Money means money. You know what I mean? You could sell 50 items, and I could sell one item. My one item could make me more money than your 50. You know, or I always say that sales look good, and they do look good if they're all expensive items, but it's all about the money in the end of the day. Get listing. Starting tomorrow. Son's back at school Tuesday. He's actually got a PD tomorrow. So starting Monday. I've still got all the Xboxes here, so I'm going to get through them. Everybody's ill. Everybody's ill. I haven't been too very. You know, my mum's got like headaches. She had it for like a week and a half now, 2 weeks. So yeah, I've had headaches come and go. My lad's been okay, but yeah, a lot of people seem to have a bug. And when do we have time off? You know what I mean? I know, yeah, it's a full-time job, you know, reselling, but you gotta have some time off, or you know, just to have, you know, like just to revamp yourself, if you know what I mean. Did I unclear a lot of my list of socks? Shall I show you? Here we go. Let's turn it around. Oh, look at that. I'm selling that now. No, I'm not. It's still all there. I've actually bought some sticky stuff, so That's good. Look, everything's still there. I haven't done absolutely anything. Right, it's all there. This is a load of micro machine stuff. Look, look at that. Micro machine stuff. I haven't even listed that. Look, the phantom, what you call it. Yeah. Load of LOL dolls. Loads in there. I think I paid 30 or 35 quid for them. Still got all the games and stuff. Yeah, I need to go through these and test them, but yeah, I got Kevin and Katie. One's got mold on it because it's just where it's sat and it's got mold on the back of it. But I'm just going to sell them as a couple. Can't split them up, can I? Oh, don't even talk about that. They did play good. Man United did play good, to be fair. I hate saying it, but yeah, they did play good. Liverpool, Trent, he can go. I don't really care about him. If he's acting for silly money, I don't think so. If he plays like that, he can go to Real Madrid. He can go now. We've got Connor Bradley, and he's a better defender than him. You know what I mean? So he can go. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna my plan is from tomorrow I'm probably gonna test all these, list them. And then probably list the stuff on the floor, and then that next couple of weeks probably gonna this room will be clear. This room will be clear in the next couple of weeks. It's tricky for me to do a live while I'm listing because I don't do any. It's really hard for me. I just don't get through it because I'm always talking. I can't. I can do two things at once, but I can't. I feel like I'm being rude while I'm not replying to anybody. Doing a live on my phone, it seems to be. I like doing a live on my phone more than I do it on my computer, laptop. I don't really want to do much tomorrow anyway as well, so I won't be on much. I mean, these won't take me long to sort out. But yeah, as long as I get 5 on, the gaming stuff always sells, doesn't it? Gaming stuff, so yeah, it should be all right. I don't even know if any of them work. I think I've tested one. One of these Xbox has got their account on, and they've got all the games on. Literally, they haven't then got a lock on the account, so I was playing all their games. I went on their Fortnite account and played on it when I bought it. I remember that they had, I think they had a couple of Call of Duty games, digital games where you could just play. Idiots. Well, obviously I don't know where they bought it from, but yeah, I've also got my Xbox here. At the bottom is my Xbox, the white Xbox One S. So I need to find the wires for that because I don't know where they are, because I've got 2 Xboxes downstairs. One was my lad's and one's mine. And yeah, just going to get rid of one. Don't need it because my lad obviously got a PlayStation and he's got the Meta Quest now. The thing is, his best friend's got a Meta Quest at school, so they're on it all the time, and it's annoying because they can talk to each other through it, playing gorilla tag and whatever rubbish it is. Yeah, and trying to not watch him crash into the TV. It will happen. I know it will. But yeah. Anyway, I've been on here for an hour. I'm gonna go now because I want something to eat, and I will. Hi John, do you ever buy from Wholesale and sell on? Or am I an idiot? I wouldn't say you're an idiot, but I would say I see a lot of people doing it, and I just don't see why people do it, because the amount, obviously most wholesale people it's clothing, And the stuff I see coming out of it is just rubbish. Yeah, there might be they're always putting a few things and they'll keep you sweet, and making a good bit of money. But most of the stuff is rubbish or it's small, and you don't know what the quality is. It says A to B grade, and then it'll come out small. I don't know. I don't. I personally, I don't know. I personally wouldn't bother because you might. If you're a proper clothing seller, then obviously it's a way of getting clothing, and you know what like sort of make you get, because obviously you can do different makes as well. It's different area. People do like certain makes, and it's great. But I don't even know how much you pay for like a whole. Is it like 300, 400 quid? I don't know, 200 quid. I ain't got a clue. New stock. I wouldn't have a clue. I've never bought new stock from a wholesaler. Didn't know you could do that. I wouldn't have a clue about that. I mean, yeah, if you have to have a big order to buy new stuff, I suppose. But like I said, buying stuff like that, they have margins, so you have margins, so you're not really going to be making much money. Like I say, wholesalers that buying clothing and all that lot, they don't make that much money. They're hoping they're going to get some really nice stuff in there, and that's it. It's all guesswork. I've done pallets, return pallets, and that's hit and miss, but you got to just go to the right companies. One of my videos, if you go to my video, go on my site, my YouTube account, and go on to my main video, it's where I picked up a load of Lego off a pallet. So, and I made like £1.5 grand, £2 grand off it, off like 400 quid, or just under 400 quid. So it can work. It's hit and miss. Easiest way, just going around car booths, charity shops, and doing it that way. Going on Vinted, buying off Vinted and doing that if you want to do that. It's very tedious. I've done it a few times. It's worked sometimes, not worked, but you've also got a lot of other resellers doing the same thing. Trying to find a company that's worth a lot of money, but a lot of people don't know about, or something that's maybe not really people are interested in, but it does sell well on eBay. Like I bought a load of well, not a load, but I bought a load of number 7 mirrors, the light up ones, makeup mirrors. People are selling them for about 5 quid on Vinted, and they sell all day long for 25 quid, as long as they're all working and all that lot. So, I've done that before, but obviously after post and packaging and all that, you're looking around 10 quid. And then you're making what? Yeah, there's an extra 15 quid, but then you take off fees. So is it really worth it? Not really, is it? I mean, it's not really worth it. It's one of them. It's like with I know I see a lot of people say, these clothing wholesales and every item's worth about 7. It's going to be worth about 7 quid, and some of them you'll probably get like 30 quid out of it or something like that. But a lot of them, you'll be lucky if you can get 15 to 20 quid. Everybody goes on about these clothing brands, and there's so much money, right? You can get a Berghaus fleece, right? You'll be stretching to get 30 quid out of Berghaus fleece. 35 quid is the most I've got out of a fleece. Good make, nothing wrong with them, but you try and get a wholesale of Berghaus like fleeces, they're going to up the price because of the name. So 10 quid per item, and then after fees and all that lot, how much you're going to make. So it all depends on how much you want to make. Selling small things for small prices is good if you can sell a lot. That's what shops do. Shops don't make huge profits, they just sell a lot of it, don't they? So yeah, it's I don't know. It depends on what you're selling, and depends on what the stock is, I suppose, isn't it? Like I said, just look around, see what the stock is, see how much you can get it for, and then if you haven't done it and you feel like you can make money on it, obviously do some research on it, then give it a go. If it doesn't work the one time, then not to do it again. If it works and you're making double the money, so if you pay something for 500 quid and you make £1,000 off it, is that good profit? I personally don't think that's good profit. because yes, you're doubling your money, but for 500 quid at a car boot, you're probably looking at a few grand, you know. So yeah, it's not my place to say. But anyway, guys, I am going to go. That was the last question I'm going to answer. Thank you all the people who came on and said hello and everything. We'll be doing my sales video over like the last week to show you how many things I've sold without listing. And obviously I did a sale on that last week. So you'll see if not listing with just putting a sale on your eBay account works, and you can see is it really worth it. I've done all right, but you'll find out tomorrow about what I've sold.